वेलकम टू प्रिंस स्टूडेंट हाउस। हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पर हम ट्रायल पैसेज डाल रहे हैं 80 वर्ड्स ए मिनट। ऑलरेडी हम पहले डाल चुके हैं और कोशिश करते हैं दो या तीन दिन में हम एक और डाल दें। तो आज हम डाल रहे हैं, ये आपके स्किल टेस्ट में हेल्प करेगा जो अभी होने वाला है, पंजाब एंड हरियाणा हाई कोर्ट चंडीगढ़ का स्किल टेस्ट। तो ट्रायल पैसेज का नियम ही यही हमने कहा है कि आपको लिखने के बाद ट्रांसक्राइब करना और फिर खुद अपने आप चेक करना है कितनी गलतियाँ, वो पीडीएफ आपको अगले दिन मिलेगी चेक करने के लिए। हम स्टार्ट करते हैं 80 वर्ड्स ए मिनट, 590 वर्ड्स, लेटेस्ट मैटर। बी रेडी, स्टार्ट। हाउ कैन द सेम गवर्नमेंट नाउ characterized the entire findings of the caste census as fraught with mistakes and inaccuracies. Complex yet feasible population census in a vast and uniquely diverse country such as India cannot but be a complex exercise. Over the decades, the census machinery has moved on a learning curve, credibly enumerating complicated categories such as language and region, which also display considerable diversity. For instance, as per paper 1 of 2018 on the language census of 2011, the number of initial raw returns of mother tongues had totaled 19,569 for the entire country. Following scrutiny, editing and linguistic grouping, these raw returns were first rationalized into 1,369 mother tongues and subsequently classified on the basis of at least 10,000 or more speakers for 22 scheduled and 99 non-scheduled languages, that is 121 languages at the All India level. While caste appears to be an even more complex category than language in the Indian context, technologies to enumerate and analyze complex big data have become easily accessible today. Yet, the affidavit cites the absence of an All India registry of castes to rule out the conduct of full caste enumeration in the forthcoming census. Why could such a registry of castes and tribes not be credited till date by the union and state governments acting together by combining the central lists of SCs and STs and the state lists of OBCs? The aggregate number of castes and tribes included in those lists would currently be around 5,000 at the All India level. For any individual state, the maximum number of castes cannot be above 500. Rationalization and classification of the numerous raw cost returns into a maximum of 500 castes at the state level or around 5,000 castes at all India level is eminently feasible. Training manuals for the enumerators can also be drawn up on the basis of a single consolidated caste list for each state that could have been attained by the expert committee appointed by the Union Cabinet by now, but for its innate dysfunctionality, rather than rectifying its administrative failings, The Union government is now cited it as evidence to construct a theorem of logistical impossibility. Within the framework, the government's affidavit also cites the absence of categorical constitutional or statutory requirements to count castes other than SCs and STs in the census. However, Article 15, Subarticle 4 and 15, Subarticle 5 of the Indian Constitution have explicitly reorganized socially and educationally backward classes of citizens as a category distinct from SSS and STs and enabled the state to make special provisions for their advancement. Containing the population of these backward classes would therefore be very much within the constitutional framework. Yet the official affidavit alleges that full caste enumeration may compromise the basic integrity of the census exercise, distorting the fundamental population count itself. If enumeration of individual castes under the SC, ST and other categories in all censuses since 1951 have not led to such preserved outcomes, why should the additional enumeration under another OBC category cause such a catastrophe? Such deliberate scaremongering has no basis in the laws or the Constitution. The logistical or legal justifications of the Union government to not disclose caste census data and refuse to conduct a full caste enumeration in the forthcoming census do not stand scrutiny. Rather, it creates ground for suspicion whether the establishment has vested interests in concealing the real numbers and proportions of various castes in the Indian population. Such subterfuge would not be acceptable to a wide spectrum of social movements and political parties who are demanding full caste enumeration. Stop.